Alright, hey guys. This is going to be a little quick video. Well, hopefully it's quick. Of my storage setup for Marvel Legendary. And I know a lot of people have been wondering, like, how do you guys store stuff? What's the best storage thing, etc., etc., because there's so many cards and everything like that. I have everything. So I have every expansion. I got everything. So I'm going to show you my setup. So these cases here, this is kind of the bulk of it. These cases, they're from Home Depot. I'll try to remember to put a link in the description for them. Sometimes you get them on sale. They're $20 to $25, depending on if you get them on sale or not. So I've got 4 of them. Kind of first, let me go through this. This isn't actually this isn't stored anywhere, but this is all of the rule sheets. So if you need to, check on a keyword, you need to do any of that stuff, I have all the rule sheets here that have all that stuff, and then any kind of other card clarifications. So yeah, this is, goes all the way to World War Hulk and the villains, and all this is just like I went to like Vintage Stock and got a pack of like 100 comic book like sleeves, and then hole punched them and taped them. So I'm gonna move this out of the way. All right, so you see there's 3 on this side and there's 1 on this side. I'll go to this one first. This here, shout out to my dogs. It's one of them. This here is for Marvel Legendary Villains. So right here, so straight up, you open it up, and this setup here, this is how I had everything. I had before I got World War Hulk and bought another case. I had all the hero stuff where it was the player cards, the Hydra, the recruits, all that. So I had that stuff here, but I took that out. So I've got right now, holy crap, I have 4 packs of sleeves left. So I have a lot of stuff here. So when the small box comes out, no, 5 packs of sleeves left. Holy crap! So when that small box comes out in the fall, I'm good. I'm good. So as you can see, it's organized. I have it organized like the other game. You'll see the other thing. I have it organized by it's team. The teams are random, but then it's alphabetical. Actually, in this one, I think it's like less members of that team. So it's like 1 non-affiliate, 1 Hydra, 2. Yeah, so it's like the amount of. There are 6 and this is 6, right? Yeah. This is like it's done by team though. So there's a lot of the enemies of Asgard team, or the whatever they're called, because of that fear itself. And then I've got the the backups here, the adversaries there, and the commanders there. So pretty simple. Here's my playmat. Eventually, I think I will integrate this into my main setup with everything else once that other base game comes out, and depending on if it's like reprints of the card abilities or not, I don't know. We'll see. But eventually, I think that's what I'll do. So let me go ahead and close this up and move this out of the way. Also, the dividers, I'll put a link in the description for those too. Let me pull one of these things out real quick. Let me do this one. I'll just pull out the back one. Okay. So the dividers are made from Strauss. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your name correctly. On Board Game Geek, he made the dividers and he put a template out, and so he did everything up to Homecoming, and then I did Champions and World War Hulk. The ones that I designed weren't nearly as good as his, but they still work. So I'll put a link down below for that. Also, another thing you might notice, and I haven't talked about this before, but I have black for everything except my schemes and plots. Obviously, these are plots, but schemes are the same thing. They're in clear. And then the main card for the Mastermind, or Commander in this case, they're also in clear. That's because those cards never enter every card can be put anywhere, right? So you can always have like a bystander in either the villain deck or the hero deck, a bystander in your hand, or your deck, because of the special bystanders that turn into heroes. Wounds can do the same thing depending on certain setups. Master Strikes, all that stuff can be integrated into another deck. And so instead of, I know some people do different color sleeves for different color things. Instead of doing that, I found it to be just easier to do it that way. And then that also saves up some space for other stuff. Once it saves space for if I use those clear ones for the Masterminds and the schemes, and it saves those black ones for other stuff. And then some of the Masterminds have the epic side or the transform side, as we've seen with the new set. So, all right, here's the next containers. This is the first part of the heroes thing. So this one here is every hero that's not Marvel Knights, Avengers, X-Men, X-Force, and Deadpool. So it's pretty much everybody. So like I said, it's all done up by team affiliation, and then it's alphabetical from there. A lot of the Spider people have Spider in their name. Wait a minute. Okay. So these are a non-affiliated team. There is the Guardians and Cabal and Illuminati. There's the Shield cards, Warbound and Champions. And then if you can see, there's some green dividers. If you watched my last video, these green dividers just separate the transform cards from... No, that's not green. That's black. There it is. They're just sleeved green... oh, God. They're just sleeved green cards that divide the transformation pile from the hero itself. That's how I store those. Okay. And then here are some of the shards that came with Guardians. I have these here, but I don't like using them. I bought these D6s for that case, but then I also use these for other things. And then there's a little Infinity Stone that I use for Baby Hope in that team. So it's Mind Gem, actually. And then I have some promo cards here that I just have sleeved. Let me see. This is a alternate art for Symbiote Spider-Man's Rare. Alternate art for Green Goblin from the base set. Alternate art from Hulk from base set. Rare. Hollow. Yeah, you've all seen these. These are all from the OPKs. So yeah. And then I have, let me put these up. So here, so these cards are where all the startup stuff is. So like if you open this up here, it's player decks, Smash Tricks and Schemes. This one may be the, what is this? If I can open it with one hand. Sidekicks and Shield Officers. And then let me go to the other thing. And then real quick too. So this here is a foam board that I just cut and then placed to make dividers. And then underneath everything, actually I can show you from this one. Underneath everything, there is a piece of, well, this is foam board, but it's not supposed to be there. There's this piece of card stock that I put underneath because there are these bumps in these cases. Because when you buy these cases, they're meant for holding like screws and little parts and stuff. And there's compartments that come in and out, and they're held in there by a little square on the bottom of the container. I just throw those away. But I don't want my card cases being bumped up against those, or like if I slide them, I don't want them screwing up. So I put that there to kind of protect them and keep the surface flat. So, yeah. Okay, let me move this case away. But that's pretty much the gist of it. I'll kind of show you the other stuff real quick. Ooh, loud noise. Okay, so then this one is like all the other Avengers cards, or all the other hero cards, and then my playmat rolled up here. Kind of the same thing. And then finally, here's the side. This pile is the one with the villain stuff. Oops. Oh, Jesus. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna leave that in there. So I have right here, I have some D20s. I used to use regular D20s, but my really good friend of mine got me these, if I could focus, these spin down ones because he plays Magic. If it'll focus. Will it focus? It's not going to focus. Anyway, the idea is... What the heck? Hold on. Oh, maybe it'll focus now. The idea is that this is 20, and then it's 19, then 18, and 17. And these things are consecutive, so it makes it really nice because my biggest problem is, like, I'll have these on villains to keep track of their attack power if, like, something shifts. And, like, since the numbers aren't consecutive, I have a hard time running, like, figuring out back and forth. Like they're not next to each other, so I have to, like, search the whole die to change it one number, and it's just a pain in the ass. So this little thing here is also setup stuff. It's bystanders and wounds. I may have to have a bystander one of these just on its own eventually because there's so many coming out. I have schemes here. Some extra loose dividers. Not dividers. Sleeves. Schemes here. All done, like I said, in clear. They're alphabetized. I have the horrors here and the sinister ambitions here. And then here are all the masterminds. And I keep, like, Deathbird, for instance. I keep the... no, that's not a sock gem. No. Where's the Deathbird? I keep the tokens with her because you need to use the tokens. Same with the tokens that are done by... there's a scheme in here that has a token, or horror, and then there's one of the murder world has tokens, so I have the tokens with the villain group. And then the villain groups are just alphabetized, and then here are the henchmen. So that's pretty much it. I mean, it's pretty straightforward setup. It's heavy because there's 4 of them, but they interconnect. So I'll show that. I don't know if I showed that, but I should have did this a different way. Okay, so they have a handle. So boom. And so, oh, I didn't lock this. Oops. Okay, and then they connect. Oh, I forgot to show you something else. So here obviously isn't, like, the rest of them don't have this because I built this thing here. So this is something I had before that was the half of insert from the game, and then I glued cardboard and glued these in to create like a extra shelf or extra compartment. I had those in my other one to hold more heroes, but I ended up removing it. If I have to get another case or if I combine everything, I'll end up probably bringing it back because it'll give you a little more space to do stuff. So yeah, that's what that is, just so you know. So, alright, that's the video. Be on the lookout. I'm going to be uploading a few more of these playthroughs in the next week or so. And I'll catch you guys in another video. Bye!